Step off the train all alone at dawn, back into the home where I was born. Sun in the sky never raised the night to me. The blood on the track suddenly must be mine.
Look at that, he's got three wide going into school.
And Mbappe does it. Oh, what a move! What a
Do you know what I mean? All my people right here, right now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. All my people right here, right now. Do you know what I mean?
himself in the history books. He is, without a doubt, the man of F1XL, but now he's a three-time F1XL champion. He's brilliant.
Careful what you believe, so open up your fist, no you won't receive the thoughts and the words of every man you'll need.
Well, hello guys, the lobby is taking an awful long time to open. It is waiting on turkeys to connect, so it could be a very, very short-lived start. Not the start of the show I would have wanted, but unfortunately this week it is just me on my own. There is no Ollie this week. He is unwell, so he won't be here. We finally seem to have at least got to a black screen instead of just the Spain pain screen. Now, this track is very much a love it or hate it track, as you may have heard from the extra show on Wednesday, and it does look very overcast in the game, so I will wait for Pingers or Nuthead to come in. Pingers, I wasn't talking. I was waiting until at least something to come in. Final Tilt, welcome to the show. I'm glad you're still occasionally coming in. It's good to hear from you. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, no one really going out on track. Yeah, I think we've got a Renault and a Racing Point out there. So let's go. Oh, it's WRS Cam and not Straka. So let's have a look. Let's fitted. Let's have a look at the fitted. It's not the best track for many people here. So yes, we're just waiting for some meaningful things to come through on the track. So obviously these early minutes in qualifying is always quite a difficult one, but Spain is difficult, no doubt. Anyway, well, there is always a possibility we would break out into a PC. Never say never. But let's quickly just talk about a few things that have happened within F1XL for this season, because we are round 8 as WRS Cam has just started his lap. So round 8 is Spain for us here. And after last week's victory for Binary, he has now taken the Ferrari seat. I genuinely feel gutted for Squidgy Genie for this, where a part-timer racer has got a seat over a full-time racer. It doesn't sit well with me, as I really think Squidgy could do with a team just to give him that bit of confidence. And being on Haas on your own, it's always a gutting thing. And I've just seen Pingers' message to leave my party open. This is always this is always a little bit dodgy when I do this, because I'm just scared of someone else some randomer joining the party while I'm in the middle of commentary. But thankfully I do have control to mute that mic as well. So it's all dry in this qualifying, and I believe it's in the race as well. As Cam on the mediums is obviously going to be fastest straight away, but Master Swain is currently 48 points clear of TES LS16 in the AlphaTauri and the Red Bull and the AlphaTauri respectively. There, an interesting battle to say the least at the top. Hopefully, it's going to go right down to the wire. That's what we want to see, as I'm sure. I'm getting a few things. Yeah, just seeing. Oh God, everything's going on my computer at the moment, and it's a bit of a nightmare. So, yeah, Master Sway leading the way in the championship at the moment. Binary, after his victory, is a further 56 points, but in fourth. Prophet Meaty, through a DNF last week, he is back this week. He's going to want to push a little bit further and maybe get himself back into the title challenge. But here is his teammate, Pickled Avenger, F2's champion last season. And let's see what the Williams driver can do when he's coming through Sector 3 at Catalonia. It's all these guys in F1 seem to take the apexes so well, but obviously some take it better than others. There is someone just darting into the pits. I believe that's Gunhead now into the pits. Pickled Avenger on the softs goes P2 provisionally, but Master Swain is pole. I missed Master Swain putting it on pole on the softs that commandingly early on. Let's go on board with Niels if it allows me. Let's go on board. He's just started his lap. He's just behind Pickled Avenger, and I wonder if Pickled will inadvertently give him slipstream down the back straight, because that would be quite handy for the AlphaTauri driver. Oh, and he nearly loses it nearly into the back of the Williams, and that's going to cost him a fair whack of time. Pickled Avenger wanted to get out of the way, but at the moment, well, thankfully there was no incident involved there. Otherwise, that could have ended up being a little bit of a messy one for the stewards, because honestly, I don't think it was anyone's fault there. But still, Niels purple in Sector 2 somehow. Even with that error, the Dutchman is on fire at the moment. He needs to make sure everything is perfect, though. Down into Sector 3. He's obviously already into Sector 3, but going through 14, 15 and 16 now. How will he take the apex? It's looking pretty solid lap. What can the Dutchman produce? It's only P7. That's just over 2 seconds slower than the pole sitter at the moment. Let's go on board with his teammate, Sinful Chris, who I jinxed a couple of weeks ago. He's very much in with a chance to winning a race this season, I believe. I wholeheartedly believe that. Oh, and he nearly loses it at the blind corner of 9, and that is a good save again. However, I do think he will be aborting that lap. So let's see where Turkeys is going. Turkeys is just behind him. It's good to see both Tracing Point teams in this race. It's been a while since it has been, and Simple Chris still manages to put it P5 as Turkeys go P2 on a set of mediums, and that is a cracking lap from the Tracing Point driver. And it is, wow, that is a lap to behold if he can keep that up. Let's see what else is going on. I think there is an outlap for Family Guy. Where is Family Guy on track? Or is it TAS Madman? TAS Madman is probably the first one. And his teammate Jolly's not here this week. That's a shame, but it's still nice to see 17 drivers here in F1 with such a challenging game ahead of us. But yes, Madman then. He's the first of the 3 out on track. 5 outlappers on track at the moment. What can the Mercedes team owner produce here at Spain? And there's another, is that an Tracing Point coming out? Again, it is a Racing Point, so I'm going to have to stop calling it a Tracing Point. Gunhead is out on a track again on the medium compound tyre. A fair few drivers coming out now, actually, and that's a good position for Madman to be, is in front of all these guys, because it could have ended up being a bit nasty, as it's a purple Sector 1, if you can believe the graphic, for TES Madman to start with. It's a great come through in turn 5 there, and now this is the most trickiest part of the track, I believe, 7, 8 and 9, and it looks like it's pretty decent for the Mercedes driver. The blind 9 though, and it is a bit wide, and he has invalidated, so let's go on board with the McLaren, seeming like everyone's favourite driver at the moment after narrowly missing out on a podium last week because of a penalty removal in Japan for Master Swain. He's coming down the back straight, trying to get as much slipstream off of people as possible. It is purple, apparently, in Sector 2 for the McLaren driver, but can he go any further in on these medium compound tyres? It looks like a fair few people have put on a decent lap time already on the mediums. So the mediums looking like the tyre to be on for the guys out there today. It looks like a slight corner cut, but there's no penalty given to the McLaren as he comes along the start-finish straight. What can he produce? It's only P4, but I say it's only P4. It's only 6/10 off the podium, the pole sitter at the moment. Let's go on board. Is that Ferrari start on a lap? Is that Xbox Nuthead actually on a lap? He's just started his lap, as will Binary. Pingers, whereabouts are you? You are in the final sector. How is the man who's just completed 100% at Canada last night? If you haven't seen that, then please go watch it on a VOD from this channel. Pingers, I haven't seen it yet, so I will be watching it at some point during the week. But he has managed P4 for the time being. No lap time set by TES LS16 yet. The 2 Williams' Profit Media only 133 there, but I think he's setting Pickled Avenger up to P3. So a little bit of a teamwork going for the Williams drivers. Madman over the line into P7. Family Guy is still out on track. Does he go faster? He goes P. Oh no, it's Sloppy Cop, sorry. It's Sloppy that goes P2. 3/10 off Master Swain, but Master Swain is on a lap time. Let's go on board with the Red Bull driver, who's seeming to be pretty impossible to match over the weekend overall at the moment. He is purple Sector 2. We know Binary sets his lap times late, so Swain has to produce early. Looking very solid. And it is only just faster. Only just. So 4/10 now. There's an extra 10th off his lap time. Let's go on board with, I think it was Xbox Nuthead who has set a lap time. It's a 1:25, so a mistake there. It looks like he is still pushing, so I'll keep on board with the Ferrari driver. Then Ferrari team owner. Yeah. So I'm just trying to... I know... I know it's never always, it's never good just having one commentator. So thank you very much, guys, for those of you who will just stick it out. I'll do the best I can. And Nuthead cuts across. So Nuthead is not completing that lap time. The racing point behind is that Gunhead, who's coming through the final sector now. Is he setting another lap, or is he going into the pits? No, he has committed to setting another lap. And it's a fair whack faster from the racing point, but it's not enough at the moment. Sinful Chris then, he's invalidated his lap. Prophet Meaty has gone P2 on a 2-lap-old set of softs, so that is going to hurt him in the race. Where else are we looking at then? Gunhead is out lap then for a Binary, the newly promoted Ferrari driver. He's the first one that says Gunhead's racing point getting out of his way for no reason, but just for safety. This is a very early run for Binary. I think he's still got enough, only just got enough time to get another lap time out, but this is Binary is going for a set of mediums. He's got a game plan, he usually does, and he's going to keep it that way. I don't know what was going on there. Nuthead and an incident between Nuthead and TS Light Shock 16. TES LS16 is Light Shock. I'm going to have to remind that every so often in the chat, because I'm going to keep on calling him Light Shock. Nuthead then coming out. So Binary is going to set a lap time, and then I wonder if he's going to help out his teammate to go a bit higher up in the grid. It's one to watch out for. The slipstream can help massively on a lap, and Nuthead is trying to take advantage of it, and it's kind of come out at the right time, but Nuthead does have to get a wiggle on to get this working correctly. Another out lap then for Light Shock. So Light Shock is out on a lap, as is an Alfa Romeo, but which Alfa Romeo? Oh, Niels. Niels out on a lap. And cars are now flooding out of the pit lane. It's purple sector 2, according to the graphic in for Binary. 3 minutes left of qualifying, or just over 3 minutes left of qualifying to go. And Binary is trying his best to get up as high as possible. He will just about make it in time to get another lap on softs if he is not high enough. Binary goes pole on a set of mediums. Interesting. Wow, from the Ferrari. Now let's see if he does support his teammate. And wow, his teammate is just behind. Let's see if he helps out Xbox Nuthead, his teammate and his team owner, I will add. So, into Sector 2, the long left-hander at WRS Cam retires. But no, he doesn't. Xbox Nuthead does not get a tow from his driver going down the back straight. I don't know what I would feel about that, being Xbox Nuthead. Going down into turn 10. He apparently is fastest of all so far. So very close between Binary and Master Swain to start things off. I could be very, very off with my timings so far. So, but Binary, but it could just be that is one of those. As Binary does pop into the pits, what can Xbox Nuthead do on a set of? Oh, it's P3 for Xbox Nuthead. Could people have just been messing with me early into qualifying? As I'll go on board with Prophet Meaty, the Williams driver is on a lap, and the victor of round 1 in Baku is trying to re-establish himself as a title contender, and he needs all the luck he can get this weekend. Into the tricky part there, Straka retires from the session. He's not doing any more. The blind turn at 9, sorry, and it looks like it's pretty solid so far. And Prophet Media doesn't say if he's improved, so... And he pulls over, he's not improved, so he's now backed off. And here comes Pickled Avenger. He's not going, he's got a red sector. Here's Squidgy Genie. Squidgy Genie's got a red. Sinful Chris then on a set of medium compound tyres. Darting through just starting the second sector. 28 seconds of qualifying remaining. And I've just had to check if my mic is actually on. And thankfully it is. Or otherwise that would have been a very fruitless endeavour. I've just been constantly talking to nothing. It has happened in the past. But here comes Sinful Chris then. Purple Sector 2 as the Alfa Romeo driver using all the track he can without getting a penalty, coming through turns 12 here and into turns 13. What can Sinful Chris produce? He's taken a lot of curb at 13, or using as much of the track as possible, but it's looking solid for the Alfa Romeo driver. Can he pip Binary? No, it's only P11 for Sinful Chris. Pingers is on a lap, as is Master Swain. And Master Swain goes pole for the time being. And, well, TS Light Shock is in third on a set of mediums. And Pingers has invalidated. Family Guy then, the McLaren driver. How can he produce through Sector 3? Can it be a quick one? The Squidgy Genie in the grass and gravel, trying not to get in the way. Binary doesn't go out again. The Sloppy goes P3 in the McLaren, but his teammate we're on board with at the moment, coming through the last corner. And it's P3. So Light Shock is moving further down the order, and that's not what he would have wanted. And I wonder if Ping is actually... What happens here, whether Pingers can actually set a lap time or if this just stops him. Let's wait and see. No, that has finished it for him. So no second lap for Pingers. And well, very, very interesting qualifying to say the least. And different strategies for sure for some of these people. Let's have a look. Fastest lap, the best lap is there. 3 drivers in the top 10 on a set of medium compound tyres. So that is going to be huge. And Xbox Nuthead is P6. For the first... It's the highest he's qualified this season, I believe. I can't remember what France was like, to be honest. I know that was quite a high qualifying for him, but that's a great time for things. Oh, Pingers is having a wonderful time there. But let's go down the order. It is Master Swain on pole for the Red Bull on a set of soft tyres. Binary on a set of mediums alongside him in his first race for Ferrari. It's a McLaren lockout on the second row with Family Guy edging out his teammate Sloppy Cop. TES Light Shock 16, AlphaTauri in P5, Xbox Nuthead P6, Prophet Meaty P7 but has a 5-place grid penalty so he'll drop down. Turkey's P8, Pickled Avenger P9, Gunhead 10th. Out, well, between 11th and 17th, it's Stracker, Sinful Chris, Squidgy Genie, TES Madman, Pingers, oh god, WRS Cam and Niels 998. And Niels 998, I have to admit, is someone that I would expect to qualify higher up than he has done this week. Now, Spain is always a difficult track. Strategy will definitely play a part. But let us just talk about the track quickly. We're back in Spain for the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, one of the most disliked tracks on the calendar, it seems, of recent years, but I am certain this is not going to be a quiet race today. This 2.9 mile track has a sprint of 730 metres to turn 1. It is a tricky track to overtake, but there are a few options here. A dive bomb into turn 10 maybe, but turn 1 is probably your safest bet. With 9 to the right and 7 to the left, we've got 16 corners to get us through a lap. The blind turn 9 can catch a few people out, even with plenty of practice. The Circuit de Catalunya was built in 1991 and has held the Spanish Grand Prix ever since. Situated just outside Barcelona, the circuit was a popular testing destination for Formula One teams for many years until in-season testing was limited in 2009. Now let's get down to business and see who will be on top when the checkered flag is flown later. So how do you think this is all going to go down? It's a cracking track to watch, to be honest. I do like how different the strategies can be. It could end up being really boring, the strategies, depending on safety cars. But I don't think... I have hopes that the safety cars aren't as frequent this week. Now, let's go back and talk about Japan quickly. Obviously, we had a safety car, as in Russia, very late on. And I don't think that helped Binary win it, but I think that's it gave him some positioning, just a little bit of extra defence against Pred. But there is no Pred this week as well. Jolly and Pred, two drivers I would have loved to have seen here, but the formation lap is just about underway. So I am going to just quickly position myself just slightly better and get out of the seat to give my back a bit of rest, because I'm still back trouble. And while I think about all this, while I wait for Swain, Binary and the rest to come through, I wonder who's going to come out on top. There's too many different strategies right now. Let's change the position. Let's go to that. Let's quickly see outside of the top 10. Profit, Sinful Chris and Stracker on mediums, as is Squidgy, Ping as a madman, Cam and Niels on a set of hards. Interesting strategy from those ones, and you can see Binary just wants this race to start. Swain wants this race to start, sorry, and as does Binary and Family Guy, but Sloppy's just taking his time a little bit. Sloppy is giving a little bit of a break between them. So I wonder then how that will affect the medium compound runners, because they'll be a bit colder, those tyres, and those three in front. Their tyres will just be that little bit slower unless Swain really slows it down a little bit. But 33 laps of the Spanish Grand Prix is about to start, and predictions are way off me right now. Very, very difficult to think who I might take victory here, but those two McLarens getting faster and faster week in, week out. You know, I might say one of those, to be honest, has a really good shout of taking victory here today. I'd love to say Nuthead, but I don't want to jinx it. And what a story that would be for Nuthead. But let's get down to it. Family Guy running in P3. The lights are on. We are on 3. We're on 4. And away we go. It is a very quick start there. It looks like a very good start from the two McLarens. They're already all over the back of Binary. And Family Guy is into P2. Swain goes defensive into turn 1. There's incidents behind, but still side by side between Family Guy and Binary. Sloppy's trying to get him in the action as well. Xbox Nuthead has got past TES Light Shock as well. Pickled Avenger's gone down to P11. Stracker's gone down to P13. But Family Guy has crucially overtaken Binary, and that could also be crucial to Master Swain as well. Up ahead, Sinful Chris has gone up 3 positions into P8. Cracking start, for the Alfa Romeo driver there, and Family Guy has lost it, and now back behind Binary, and they're side by side into turn 9, the two McLarens, and that is not what you want to be doing there. And there is Light Shock there as well, Xbox Nuthead. And down into P5 is Family Guy, not the start he would have wanted, and there's still lots going on down below, and this is where I really wish I had Ollie, because I need that second person just to get me a hand. The two racing points there, battling over a time penalty for someone. I think that was Prophet Meady. Yellow flag in sector 3, and is that Squidgy Genie off? Master Swain then starting to pull away up front with Binary, and the McLaren of Sloppy Cop then is pulling away from Xbox Nuthead, but Nuthead then up to P4, and is he fighting away with... Is it Xbox Nuthead car has ghosted, it looks like. I don't know what is going on, but that looks like the Ferrari of Xbox Nuthead ghosting through turns 4 and then into 5. Hopefully he's back in. It looks like he's back in it now. Light Shock then in P6 with Family Guy right on his trumpet, and Pingers is all the way battling with WRS Cam side by side through turn 5, and they're going to be side by side through 6 to 9 it looks like, but no, Cam drops back behind the AlphaTauri of Pickled Avenger, AlphaTauri of F1XL Pinger, sorry, as there is so much stuff going on. And here comes Sinful Chris trying to go around the outside of Turkeys, or is that Turkeys going up the inside of Sinful Chris? P8 still, that's a great position to be in. Prophet Meady then and Pickled Avenger both having incidents and are down in 16th and 17th. The Williams drivers not having the best of race, and they need a safety car, it seems. Binary then sets the fastest lap of the race, and Swain is going to have difficulty keeping the Ferrari driver behind at this rate. That was I don't know how Binary produced that lap time, but ridiculous pace there, and well, both of them pulling away from the McLaren of Sloppy Cop, who's just having, well, just trying to pull away from Xbox Nuthead. So yeah, very, very close timing there. Let's I want the interval and I want tyres at the moment. Let's keep that at the moment. And actually no, I did like the positional changes. It does help a little bit. And right, Xbox Nuthead then outside of that timing zone, and here comes Light Shock up the inside into turn 10 there, and Light Shock has made a relatively easy move on that Ferrari driver, but Xbox Nuthead in the best place of the season so far. He's driving crackingly. Let's hope he continues. He's got Family Guy, and Simple Chris has got past Turkeys behind while all this other action is going on, but crucially Sloppy Cop is now 2 seconds behind Binary and Master Swain ahead. So I don't think Master Swain's going to have much defence, to be honest, to Binary when the tyres start dropping off. Is anyone else close to being overtaken? Let's have a look at Simple Chris, because he is close to the back end of the McLaren of Sloppy Cop, who had a very frustrating start. After a cracking start, he's dropped down. Squidgy Genie then is now in P15, and we've got a battle between the two hard runners of Niels and WRS Cam. They've just dropped off a little bit from F1XL Pingers. They're playing a little bit of a different game to what we will think the rest of the people will do. Let's just up that a little bit and hope that doesn't actually change too much. Let's go back. Let's have a look. No, WRS Cam receives a penalty, and here comes Niels 998 up the inside into turn 10, and that's a carbon copy of what Light Shock did to Xbox Nuthead. And Light Shock now is closing in on the McLaren of Sloppy, and now this is a very interesting battle for P3, because the medium compound tyre is on Light Shock, and they are 3.5 seconds away from the leaders. And up the inside then, Light Shock has got the DRS open, and he's made the move stick. The medium runner of Light Shock is out and away And how far will these soft tyres take the likes of Swain, Sloppy, Nuthead and Family Guy? We'll all wait to see, but Simple Chris is there as well, and I believe Simple Chris actually is the first of the medium runners outside of the top 3. And Swain is still being competitive on those softs at the time being. He's got the measure on Binary only just right now, but there is a tyre compound difference between the two of them. And, well, Swain knows his race, Binary knows his. It's going to be interesting. Well, and there's Turkey's losing it a little bit and getting a 3-second time penalty for a tank slapper back there. And Straka gets the position for the trouble as well. So Turkey's down to P9, and wow, it's all a little bit of a train behind Sloppy, and Lightshock actually breaking free of the DRS early on. He is absolutely flying right now, the AlphaTauri driver. He is up for this. He wants the title just as much as everyone else. And here comes Xbox Nuthead making the move. Oh, is that contact between the Alfa Romeo and McLaren? I think it was. It wasn't the best of angles for Codemasters to give me, but it's an intense start to the race. We're on lap 6 now of 33. Binary is now the closest he's ever been. And Straka up the inside of Family Guy, having a look. But it's nothing this time. Bloody hell. Sorry about that. Just having a little bit of a coughing fit my end. Here's the battle raging on behind Xbox Nuthead, who has got past Sloppy Cop for P4. This is the best race I've seen Xbox Nuthead produce in a long time. It's brilliant to see the Season 9 champion. He's going to hate me for saying this. There's so much pressure on him, but I know he can handle it this race. Family Guy then has conceded to Simple Chris, which I mentioned earlier on, and because Straka is all over the back of him. Into the pits then for Sloppy Cop. He's struggling on those soft compound tyres. And Binary all over the back of Swain. You can see the tyre, you can see the grip difference, between the two tyres, and Swain managing to make lap 7. I do wonder when this Red Bull driver, the lone Red Bull driver, will be able to pit, but they are still keeping a rough gap of 3 seconds to Lightshock behind. Family Guy has finally lost out to Straka behind, and is that Simple Chris having a nose up the inside of Xbox Nuthead, and well, might have just put Nuthead off a little bit, but Simple Chris is looking very racy. The number 66 Alfa Romeo is now pushing the limits he can go. There is a further 4 seconds. He knows he's got a long time to get to the car ahead, and it's not going to happen this time. Nuthead is definitely saying no. And let's have a look on board then with the leaders coming through Sector 3, and it's do we see Swain pit? Swain, it looks like he's just holding Binary up at certain points of the track and then flooring it when he's got the confidence to go. And Binary doesn't have an answer just yet. It is bringing Lightshock into play. Xbox Nuthead has pitted, as has Family Guy, as has Gunhead. And I just need to quickly catch my breath a little bit. Getting far too excited. Binary then trying his best to get through to Swain. There is, 33 laps. There's still a fair whack for these two guys to go on their two different strategies. Simple Chris then up to P4. Cracking drive for him, but a few pit stops has helped him along the way. Xbox Nuthead has come out behind Sloppy by 2 seconds, so the undercut is huge. Swain nearly losing it through 7 and 8 there, and let's go on board with Binary. Will he have a look? No, he won't. It's too far back this occasion for the Ferrari driver, but you can see how close he gets through 11 and 12. He pretty much inside that Red Bull's gearbox, and we know how much Binary loves the Red Bull as WRS Cam receives a 3 second time penalty. Oh, goodness me, that was quite a nice camera angle to go to. Swain into the pits for the Red Bull driver, and the Ferrari driver of Binary finally leads the Spanish Grand Prix. It's lap 9 of 33. Binary from Light Shock now. And it's a 1.8 second gap between the two of them. And Binary's got a bit of fresh air. Let's have a look. Let's have a look where the mediums. Let's have a look. It's hards for Master Swain. Hards. Now this is a different strategy. I know a lot of people don't like hards at this track. He's going to come out behind WRS Cam. Yeah, he is. He's well ahead of Sloppy though. Back down there. Let's have a look at the tyres. Sloppy's gone on to a set of mediums as well. It's a 5 second gap between the two of them. Xbox and Nuthead fighting away with Family Guy. And Family Guy's finally got the position off of the Ferrari driver. And now everything is kind of out of sync here. Go back to the track layout there. So Binary has started to put the foot down, and Straka has actually caught up with Sinful Chris. Don't forget, Straka was Light Shot. Swain has bombed past Straka's teammates off camera there. But yeah, let's not forget, Straka retired from F2 last season, but he is ridiculously quick on this game. He is producing some cracking driving here, and all the best to him, and hope he gets a good result here. But he's trying his best to keep up with Sinful Chris, who's another driver doing incredibly well this season. At round 8, he's had some bad luck, and I know he's hated me for giving him a bit of commentator's curse in the past this season as well. But at the moment, Binary leads from Light Shock. And this battle for P3 is 4.7 seconds, behind the front runners. There is a few things going on behind as well. Master Swain is pulling away from Cam quite quickly. Squidgy Genie then. Let's have a look. Let's have a look who has pitted. So everyone in the top 9 have yet to pit. Cam has yet to pit as well, as Neil998 receives a 3 second time penalty. Let's go back to that one. This is still the closest battle we've got. Gunhead has dropped. Always caught Nuthead out somewhere as well, but Nuthead is on the hard compound tyre, so Nuthead is doing very similar strategy to Master Swain and Family Guy, but just dropping down the order a little bit. And I do wonder where the other Williams is. Oh, there. I didn't see it on the map there. But Straka then just not able to, on this occasion, catch what is going up on ahead. Squidgy's still maintaining the gap. As Sloppy's left the session, I wonder if that is a problem on Sloppy's side. Let's. I will, if he doesn't get in the game quick enough, I will get him back in. As fastest lap goes to Gunhead, who then is all over the back of the McLaren. Let's have a look. He doesn't go for it, but his tyre difference between these two again will cause problems. Binary's pulled a further second out on Light Shock since Swain has pit. Swain is catching Squidgy Genie finally ahead as well. But Gunhead then. Let's actually have a quick look. Let's have a look at the leader. So Swain is well within the time limit to Binary to pit. So Binary has a lot of work to do if he wants to come out competitive against Swain at the end of the race. As Gunhead goes wide through turns 7 and into 8, it was a bit more difficult. The blind turn 9 is always a tricky one, as Sloppy still hasn't got himself into the lobby yet. Sloppy's. Let's get him back into the game. So let's go back on board. Actually, go on board with Master Swain. He's finally reaching overtaking opportunity on the House of Squidgy Genie. These two had a cracking battle at Baku, but it's not to happen today. Swain has his work cut out as well as Binary, and we don't really know who's got net lead for further towards the end of the race, but we're only on lap 12 of 33. Gunhead then, 3 second time penalty for the Racing Point driver as he's trying to catch Family Guy up there. Xbox Nuthead is trying to keep some sort of close distance to him as well. Let's see what Binary can do. Stracker's not being able to make a move on Sinful Chris just yet. Those two still going along. I wonder when these guys will pit. But we will wait and see. Master Swain then. Not close enough going down the back straight, but he's going to have a cracking view coming down the start-finish straight. Is anyone else going to have a look? No one else is popping into the pits yet. Stracker is... don't think he's close enough to the Alfa Romeo up ahead. Master Swain all over the back. Let's do this properly. Oh, we're into the pits. It's Squidgy. Squidgy's into the pits. So no DRS. No slipstream for Master Swain, as Sloppy's finally rejoined the session. It's messed with his session a little bit. What will Squidgy go to? Will he go onto a set of hard compound tyres? We'll only wait and see. But these guys pushing out the mediums that little bit further. Swain then getting that little bit of boost. Let's have a look. He's lost a bit of time, stuck behind the Haas of Squidgy Genie, and that's not what we would have wanted at all. As there is a yellow flag in sector, and it's Squidgy Genie. Squidgy's crashed, coming out of the pits. Turn 2, I think it is. It's a yellow flag for sector 1, but no safety car for the Haas driver, and it's still. The car is moving, so I'm guessing he has just retired his car. It's come out right at the end there. And into the pits then goes Lightshock and Turkeys onto a set of hard. Lightshock then, how far back? Swain being caught with Squidgy has not, it's not helped him at all. Lightshock is still within the normal, well, within the same kind of time limit that he was before, as Sloppy's left the session again. So issues for the McLaren driver, and it was looking like it would be a great race for McLaren this week. Is just proving to be a bit of a painful one. So we don't have time gaps between some of these. That's just going to make my life difficult. Niels then all over the back of F1XL Pingers, the hard runner of Niels, who's gone a completely different strategy again to a few people. Is now in P6. He's looking racy. He will be one to watch at the end of the Grand Prix. Binary has pitted, and Binary will probably end up coming out in the lead of this race. Hard compound tyres. Swain is miles away. Pingers stays out. Will Pingers get out in front of Binary? These two battling away, and it's not worked out for Binary. He's not come out in front of this battle, but he is 3 seconds ahead of Swain. So that is an interesting point. We're just under halfway of this Spanish Grand Prix, and Swain at the moment struggling there, but Binary has a lot of work to do. Pingers could be an absolute saviour to Lightshock if he holds up these two drivers behind. Niels then has a lot of work to do, and Binary now has to overtake two people to get himself some clean air. There's battles with Gunheads. Oh, okay, maybe not. Sloppy is now dropped down a little bit because of that disconnect, and well, he's definitely running a two-stop strategy. But let's have a look at Binary and how he's going to handle with two drivers down the start-finish straight. Swain and Lightshock are coming into play. What will Binary do? Can he get a double overtake down the start-finish straight? Pingers is staying out on track. He's got a couple of more laps life in them, he believes. And here comes Binary. Can he do anything? He's too far back. He's too far back on the start-finish straight, and he's going to hold these guys up again through the lap. And this is just going to play into Swain and Lightshock's hands. Niels is going to get really frustrated as well, because he needs to get some laps in clean air as well. A bit further down, Family Guy and Gunhead and WRS Cam. They're not close enough actually. Let's have a look. No, they're just too far back. Let's have a look at Niels then. Niels still battling away. Look how much of a procession this is. Does Niels have enough? No, not on this occasion. And Binary's dropped off again. I still don't know the exact time difference between Binary and Swain, but this is, pardon me, helping Swain a little bit more each lap. There's still about a 2-second gap. Binary's best bet here is to save its ERS and not really push for an overtake. Will Pingers pit? No, he doesn't. Too far back. Is it too far back? It is, but it's not for Niels. Niels having a look up the inside of the AlphaTauri, and it's into P1 for the AlphaTauri. And Pingers drops to P2, and now it's Pingers. Well, Niels has to do something here. It's 1.5 seconds between Swain and Binary. Family Guy has just caught WRS Cam out, and around the outside is that. Trying is Binary. Now into turn 5 there, and Pingers, just nearly being pushed along by Binary here into the the slowest part of the track. 7, 8 and 9, the blind 9, which I keep calling it. It's going to be difficult for the AlphaTauri driver, and he's going to have just enough. And is it going to be just enough for Swain to sneak into the DRS coming down the back finish straight? It is halfway point through the race now. And, well, Swain is finally caught back up with Binary. All over the back of Pingers currently. Will Pingers pit? Will he dart in? Will I see an AlphaTauri dart in? I do. And there is now a bit of a gap between Binary and Niels. And there you have it. Binary now has 2 opposing drivers thanks to Pingers. Pingers' help there has brought these 2 back into the race. I'm not sure if that was Pingers' intention, but Binary now has a lot of work to do to catch back up with Niels 998. Swain just needs to make sure he finishes close to these guys to still have that lead in the championship stay roughly the same. And at round 8, that is a huge advantage, but anything can be eaten away quickly. And, well, it's a great first race for the Ferrari driver of Binary now. He's proving his worth as there's battle going on down below, and Swain's not being able to get back, but it's WRS Cam and Gunhead are side by side, still side by side, the 2 battling away, and is that Gunhead round? And up the inside then goes Sloppy Cop on Gunhead. I think that was. I think in the chat, Pingers is saying it was his intention. I think, but I won't. I will re-ask at the end of the race. I'm sure. Binary then pulling away from the battle behind, and Niels then still sticking out. I'm not sure what lap he will be coming in on. There's light shot coming up the inside, and Swain not really defending from it. Just happy to battle away. He's got a 4.6 second gap behind. I think Swain now is just picking his battles here and letting Lightshot go. Maybe go after Binary and letting those 2 battling away. Maybe hope for an incident between the 2 of them, and he will pick up the pieces. See what kind of play Swain does there. Binary then all over the back of Niels 998 coming through turn 9. And, it looks like a little bit of a step out there from the Ferrari. He's not close enough to make a move into turn 10. But he will try, I am sure, down the start-finish straight. And Binary is being held up here. Swain is... Lightshock is now reducing that gap. And Pingers receives a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I mean, at this rate, you kind of... And is that Niels into the pits? It is. Niels darts into the pits. Binary gets the DRS going down and having a little bit of free air to hope, in his case, to pull away from the battle behind. Sinful Chris then into P4. A cracking drive from Sinful Chris. He's caught the gap ahead ever so slightly as well, and could be a podium on the cards for that driver as well. Sloppy and Gunhead both need a pit again, as Madman is now on for a strong position, and Gunhead and Sloppy then battling through, and there's Madman trying to come into the mix as well. Sloppy is just losing out here and dropped down to P7. Caught the end of that. Sloppy then up the inside of turn 4, and it has happened. Sloppy has made a great move there. A bit aggressive, and Madman trying to get involved, and how has Madman's car done that? The two TES drivers coming together as Gunhead receives a 3-second time penalty. But that I don't understand how Madman's car just exploded like that. That is a difficult one. Right, now it's only a yellow flag, no safety car involved, as Gunhead then trying to recuperate some of this. That would have been a good finish for Madman. A very strong position. Nuthead then up to P8 because of it. It's all kind of petered down as so lap 22 of 33, and Master Swain has dropped back from Light Shock in P2, and Sinful Chris is slowly catching up as well as Xbox Nuthead now goes to P7. What's happened to Turkeys? Very, very defensive. Is that damage to his car at all? I can't really tell, as he's lost 2 positions on that straight, and it's a little bit of it. There's no damage to his car, as I can see, but he's lost 2 positions. Gunhead. Oh, sorry, that was Turkeys, not Gunhead. Gunhead goes into the pits. As does Family Guy for new mediums. Fresh mediums to the end of the Grand Prix. Binary then pulling away out front. Sinful Chris holding on at the moment. And yeah, the battle for P7 is the one to watch. Sloppy's just ahead of this as well. Xbox Nuthead is going to have a decent battle at the end. Niels is going to be one to watch out for. Turkeys as well. I wonder how far Pingers actually will be able to push, and whether he can get into the battle either. But Sloppy's definitely going to have to pit again. And Stracker's lost out. He was very close to Sinful Chris before the pit stops, but he has dropped back. It's battling away. Niels 998 then dispatches Xbox Nuthead, and it could be the best finishing position of the season so far for Niels, as Sloppy has pitted. Nuthead really hasn't lost a position because of that pit stop. It was a swap over, and Nuthead is still in P7. It looks like a good points haul for Ferrari this week, as Sinful Chris slowly bringing the gap down with just over 10 laps remaining, with Swain ahead. And I forgot how hard commentary is when you've got a cat trying to eat your microphone. Now, Turkey's receives a 3-second time penalty in his pursuit of Xbox Nuthead. As he's dropped back slightly. So Master Swain is dropping further back from the lead as well. I think he's just conserving a little bit, just to make sure he's got enough at the end of the race to hold off Sinful Chris. Stracker is on 3 seconds back as well. He's losing time. Let's go and have a look at the new feature that they added instead of fixing the game. The quickest pit stops. Currently, it looks like Family Guy is one of them. Then it gets beaten by Light Shock at 2.85, which is the same as a Stracker. 8.2 by Sinful Chris. So, Sinful Chris's Alfa Romeo is the fastest so far. Anything happening on track? Oh, there is Gunhead and WRS Cam battling away again. But Cam and Gunhead are on the same tyres. A yellow flag in Sector 1, and that is WRS Cam with no front wing. And Pickled Avenger, after all of this, has now got some people to fight with. He's got some company at last after a lonely race for the Williams. Let's go on board with Turkeys because he is trying something against Xbox Nuthead. Not too much at the moment, but Sinful Chris is bringing the time down to Master Swain. It's now 2.5 seconds with about 8 laps remaining for those guys out front. Mustn't forget there is 6 laps difference between the two of them. I don't think I will check it out. I will check out penalties on Sinful Chris. He is on his final warning. Light Shock is on his final warning. Binary is on his final warning. Swain has on his final warning. Stracker has plenty of penalties. So really, the top 4, if they get a penalty, it will change things dramatically as Turkeys again receives a 3-second time penalty. Let's go on board with Sloppy and Gunhead. These two are battling for the final point scoring position as Cam enters the pits for the last time. More than likely for softs. Yeah, it is for soft tyres. He'll try and get the fastest lap and see if there is any safety car towards the end. We've had it before as Master Swain finally, one of the top runners, has a penalty, and it's the Red Bull driver, which is going to put him down out of the podium positions. Definitely not what we expected at all. Turkey's then having a look up, ready on Xbox Nuthead, and then the position is done. Ferrari concedes to the Racing Point down the start-finish straight, but penalties is definitely against Turkey's right now. There is Swain. Swain is... Oh, okay, there is a Renault in between Sinful Chris and Swain, and I thought that was Stracker and not WRS Cam. That confused me a little bit there. Sinful Chris is catching Swain. Swain has a little bit of leeway now with that second penalty, so he might be able to just eke out a little bit here or there. But Xbox Nuthead has a 4.5 second gap over Pingers behind. Niels is, well, not catching Stracker at all. Light Shock is pulling away from Binary. And there is Sinful Chris then. Sinful Chris is not really catching as there is as that Prophet Media into the pits. Maybe a fight for fastest lap between the two of them. And lap 27 of 33 then. We've had an incredible battle early on. It has just petered out a little bit. There's more people doing the one stop than I would have expected, which obviously changes things up a little bit. but it's obviously they're trying to do the quickest turnaround, and they are more than within their rights to do that. But I would have just liked to see how it would have handled with people doing a 2-stop strategy here. But just over 6 laps remaining. Binary is leading the Spanish Grand Prix from LS16 and Master Swain in P3. Sinful Chris could very well be on a way to a podium because of penalties situations, but we'll have to wait until the end of the Grand Prix. Sinful Chris might grab a penalty himself. Striker R11, after a cracking race, is up in P5. Let's have a look then. Positional changes. Niels 998 up 11 places, keeping himself out of trouble, and in P6. Xbox Nuthead started P6, had brief moments at the top as well, but now down into P8, and I'm sure that will end up being P7 with penalties. Still a cracking drive from both Ferrari drivers, either no matter what. F1XL Pingers then up into P9, a solid start for him as well after helping his teammate out, as Master Swain has WRS Cam for company right behind, and as I think Prophet Meaty has got, Sinful Chris has Prophet Meaty right behind as well, so they can't really just pull over and let the other guy through, as Niels 998 receives a penalty which could be crucial with his final position. WRS Cam is desperate to get past the Red Bull, but he just really can't when it comes down to it. It's going to be an interesting end. Just 5 laps remaining. Binary coming into turn 1 now, but we're on board with Master Swain as Prophet Meaty receives the award for fastest lap. He won't get the point for it though, because he's outside of the top 10, as Master Swain is just trying to eke out that time with Sinful Chris behind. And I will check Sinful Chris and his penalty situation. He has Sinful Chris now has a penalty as well. Does Lightshock have a penalty? No, he does not. So it's back on even keels between Red Bull and Alfa Romeo, for the final podium position. As Master Swain is just losing time now. It's coming down between the gap between 3rd and 4th, and it will be a fight for position. 19-lap-old mediums against 13-lap-old. I know which one I would prefer. Anything else going on further down? No, Pingers is no. Xbox Nuthead is not close. So Niels has. Well, we'll wait and see. We can't. Well, I don't want to speculate anymore about penalties and where people will be finishing. Binary and Lightshock. It's been about 3 seconds all race. Nothing between the two of them, as WRS Cam has finally got past Swain, and Swain has lost time because of it. Swain has dropped back as Prophet Meaty is retired from the session inside the pits lane, thankfully. He's given up the ghost for this one, after claiming the fastest lap of the race. I wonder if anyone else will produce that. WRS Cam is a possibility, but everyone else is just a little bit far off. Thankfully, there is no safety car for that retirement. I always panic when that happens, when someone retires in the pits. It's not on this occasion. Now then, the gap between Sinful Chris and Master Swain, 1.7 seconds. It could... Well, Cam has to go, or otherwise he's going to receive penalties for not letting Swain through. But Swain's going to have DRS, which will help him just move that little bit further each straight away. It's a slow... Is that... Oh, that is Sinful Chris's car. Not Sinful Chris's car, sorry. Prophet Meaty's car just pulling through half the lap. And it doesn't look like he is happy in the chat either. Just not a good race for him in general. Lightshock then, as Sinful Chris actually has reduced, well, I say reduced time, he's fallen off of Swain again. So it's now back down to 2.3 seconds. And Swain is finally finding some pace again. He's catching up with Lightshock, so Lightshock might have made a mistake as well. It's lap 31 of 33 here at Catalonia. And Binary starting to pull away, starting to flex his muscles a little bit out front after that medium time set in qualifying. He was always going to be one to watch out for and probable win the race. I did say the McLarens, but I think I've jinxed the McLaren team. I'm sure I will get complaints from Norris for my jinxing. We'll wait and see. And unlucky for Prophet Meady and Madman as well, because that whatever happened between him and Gunhead, it didn't look like it should have done that, to be honest. And Master Swain is using this WRS Cam's Renault to the advantage and pull some gap and pull some time back on Lightshock as well. It's not going to affect him in many ways, to be honest, as they're inside each other as Cam and Cam and Family Guy receive penalties. It kind of feels like a race of old. With people just, I don't know, just at their separate races. It reminds me of a couple of seasons ago when we had not Jolly, well, not when Jolly was running away with it, but when he wasn't racing. It kind of puts into that perspective. That, you know, everyone's a bit just set out in their own ways. But Swain has done a cracking job on 22 lap old hard compound tyres, as Nuthead is on 23. To be honest, he's done a great job as well. Swain then coming through, but I will go on board with what would probably end up being the race winner at the end of all this, and that is Binary. He's looked positive all week, coming second on a set of medium compound tyres at the start. Always is a great way to start a race from qualifying, but he's just raced his own way. He's got a 3.6 second lead over LS16 in P2, and well, he was P2 for a long time at the start of the race until Swain finally pitted, and well, since then Binary's just run his own race, and well, I'm sure he'll savour this as his first race in the Ferrari, pushing the best way he can. The Ferrari driver then final time into Sector 3 and doing everything he can. He's 4 seconds now in front of Lightshock. He's just opened up a little bit, put his foot down a little bit more, and it has been a cracking drive for Ferrari. A great acquisition by Xbox and Nuthead to claim the driver, and it's a victory for Binary. Lightshock will come home in P2 as Master Swain closes the gap at the end to 2.5 seconds, but it will end up being 5 seconds down the road. Sinful Chris then 3.8 seconds. Stracker only 2 seconds off Sinful Chris at the end. Neil's 998 then. Let's see what if this will be the Alfa Romeo's finishing position, and if it is, it's a great race for Alfa Romeo. 2-point scoring finishing, and it will be currently P6. And oh, Turkeys has lost it. Was Turkey's losing it? What on earth happened there? As Xbox Nuthead comes home in P7, Turkey's lost it. Pingers then in P8 ahead of Turkey's. Gunhead coming through the final time across the line, and it's P10 for now. Will he get ousted by Sloppy Carp? He will not. It was ever so close at the end though, as Pickled Avenger comes home in P12, and here comes Family Guy. Two McLaren, will be cursing their luck, locking out the second row, and they're going to finish P11 and P13 respectively. It's not how they would have wanted to end that race, but crazy end to the race. But Niels gets driver of the day from the game, and I can understand that. He's come through an incredible missing all the action. Oh well, missing all the issues and action, and just being just doing his own race. As Xbox Nuthead had 86% tyre wear, it seems. I'll wait until I see the final rundown of who's what and where to give my driver of the day. I mean, I'd love to give it to Nuthead. He got no penalties, to be fair, so it's a good shout for him. But I think Sinful Chris is also a good shout as well, coming home in P4 with Stracker as well. But I think Binary could very well. I mean, just the whole weekend in inverted commas as a whole, Binary looked dominant, and yeah, I think driver of the day for the Scotsman in his first race for Ferrari, a bit like Max Verstappen in his first race for Red Bull. Now then, as Ollie's not here, I'm not going to do the podium questions, as I'm very much... That's very much Ollie's job, and I feel bad if I take any of that away. So congratulations on the top three, Binary, Lightshock and Master Swain. Let's get the full lot there. Squidgy Genie only managed a 120 in the end. It's the fastest he could do. However, don't forget to join us on Wednesday at 1900 for the extra show, where we will run down all the drivers. All the drivers from F1 and all the leagues in F1XL and how the leagues went. Obviously, I will be here hosting the show. I'll try and figure out what went wrong and what went right for these people. But for now, we will see you later and in the next one.